What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports Max, you guys, with another video. This video, I'm going to be talking about Josh Gordon getting reinstated by the NFL and what his reinstatement means for the New England Patriots and their offense in 2019. So, Josh Gordon is my favorite player, my favorite NFL player. All you guys, you OG subscribers, know that he is my favorite NFL player. And I've been watching him since Baylor. He has been my favorite NFL player. And now he's gotten reinstated again. And this New England Patriots team looks scary. And I hate to say this because you guys see it in the background. I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And I do pride this channel on doing non-biased takes, despite how my feelings might be for the New England Patriots. But as a Steelers fan, and it pays me to say this, but I have to be non-biased because that's what I pride this channel on. I think New England's going to end up winning another Super Bowl. I think they're going to end up winning their 7th Super Bowl. And I'm saying this even before Josh Gordon got reinstated. And now he got reinstated. And now the rich gets richer, right? So Josh Gordon last year played in 11 games, had 720 receiving yards, caught 40 passes, 3 touchdowns. It was a stat that came out. If Josh Gordon would have played all 16 games with the New England Patriots, or with the games he was playing with them before he got suspended, Josh Gordon was on pace to have 1,100 receiving yards, 60 receptions, and 6, maybe 7 touchdowns if he would have played the whole entire season with the New England Patriots. Those are Pro Bowl caliber numbers. That just goes to show you how talented Josh Gordon is, right? Josh Gordon was on pace to have Pro Bowl caliber numbers and even play in all 16 games. That just shows you how talented Josh Gordon is. Josh Gordon, now, with the weapons that New England has now in the receiving core, not only is it going to benefit him because now he's not going to get all the attention. He's not going to be, when the New England Patriots traded for Josh Gordon in the Cleveland Browns trade, he ended up becoming their #1 wide receiver. And he helped them. He played a large part of them getting to the Super Bowl. A lot of Josh Gordon haters and whatnot won't give him the credit that he deserved. But Josh Gordon, believe it or not, played a big part in the New England Patriots getting them to the Super Bowl, even though he didn't play in the playoffs. Because think about it. The New England Patriots desperately needed some wide receiver help. Desperately. Really, really bad. So they traded for Josh Gordon. And he showed up. Before he got suspended, he ended up being their #1 wide receiver. He had some very, very good games. So Josh Gordon, now with this New England Patriots wide receiving core, now you got Julian Edelman, you got Demaryius Thomas whenever he's able to come back, you got N'Keal Harry, you got Jacoby Myers, who's been pretty solid this offseason. A lot of hype behind him. You got Dontrell Inman, and you got Cam Meredith whenever he's able to come back and do something. So this wide receiving core for the New England Patriots is very loaded. They have a lot of talent there. A lot of talent. And it's going to be very, very scary to see whoever ends up facing the New England Patriots. As a Steelers fan, we played them week 1. Week 1. They have a running game. You already got a plan for Sonny Michel. You got a plan for James White. I mean, this New England Patriots offense with Josh Gordon now, they're just on a whole different level than everybody. And I know they lost Rob Gronkowski. But it seems like now, they do what they always do. They have that next man up philosophy. And they're going to be like, hey, we lost a good player, but life goes on. And you just look at it. I mean, they are absolutely loaded. And as a Steelers fan, I am really, really concerned. Really concerned. Because our secondary, every time we play New England, our secondary is a little shaky. And we're playing New England at New England. Last year we beat New England, but that was at Heinz Field. Going into Foxborough is a whole different animal. We struggled winning at Foxborough. And now they got Josh Gordon back. The rich gets richer. Josh Gordon adds a whole new dimension to this New England Patriots offense. He's going to be their #1 wide receiver. Then you're going to have N'Keal Harry. Then you're going to have Demaryius Thomas. You're going to have Julian Edelman there. Don't really know how they're going to end up don't know who's going to end up being the starter, but we can suppose that Josh Gordon is going to be their starter. Julian Edelman ends up being the starter. And probably N'Keal Harry ends up being their other starter if Demaryius Thomas isn't ready week 1. Don't really know how that's going to plan out. I'm not really a depth chart guy. But, I mean, they're loaded at this wide receiver position. So, now that they got Josh Gordon back, it's going to add a whole new entire dimension to this New England Patriots offense. Also, the fact that they have the best offensive line coach in the NFL and have a very good offensive line. Now you got Josh Gordon. I don't know who's going to be able to stop this New England Patriots offense. I mean, on paper, it's scary. Then you got Tom Brady. We know what Tom Brady does. We know what Tom Brady does. We don't even got to talk about him. This New England Patriots offense is scary. And to me, it pains me to say this as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but it looks like New England's going to end up winning another Super Bowl. It's just what it looks like. I can't think of one team that can actually pose a legitimate threat to this New England Patriots team. A lot of people said Pittsburgh, but I say Pittsburgh, maybe. It depends. And the LA Chargers. The LA Chargers have a very good coaching staff, and they are very loaded. They're probably the most talented team in the AFC talent-wise. They're loaded at every position. Even if Melvin Gordon doesn't come back, still think they're going to be very good. So, those are the only two teams I can really see competing with the New England Patriots. The other teams, I know people are going to say the Browns and a couple of other teams, Kansas City. The Browns, we don't really know. And Freddie Kitchens is a first-year head coach. We don't really see too many first-year head coaches out-coaching Bill Belichick. Then you have the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs defense is still a big question of mine. I know they've gotten a little bit better, but I still don't trust them in the game with the New England Patriots. But this offense looks like it's going to be doggone near unstoppable. And this comes from a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And we play them in a couple of weeks. And as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I am very, very concerned. Very concerned. Because now you got Josh Gordon back. And you got N'Keal Harry. You got Demaryius Thomas. Going to have Julian Edelman. This New England Patriots team is going to pay me to say this. But they just might win another Super Bowl.